A friend of mine once said, as consumers, we have every right and probably every responsibility to question where our food comes from. And with that, if I can't look you in the eye and defend what I do, I probably shouldn't be doing it. So I think there's just a lot of confusions about what happens out in agriculture. And I think for years and years, we of agriculturalists have just been content we live in flyover country and we're content with that. We don't need to tell our story. But as there's more challenges, I think we've had to come out and advocate for ourselves, not because there's anything to hide in what we do, but because we feel like there's a story to tell and a good story to tell.
Ryan and I have been married for almost 25 years. We got married in the middle of veterinary school. We met, we were both animal science majors. Ryan and I were to be married in 5 days, and I get a phone call on a Monday night before the Saturday of the wedding, and he says, "So what do you think about buying a feed yard?" And I thought, are you kidding me? I'm not ready for buying a feed yard. We need to get this wedding happening. And he's telling me about this feed yard, and we end up buying it. We've just added on since then. We currently have 20 pens.
I've had a passion for livestock since I've been small, and I think that's something my father instilled in me and June's father instilled in her, that you just take care of the livestock that's under your control.
My priority at the feed yard is to keep those cattle healthy, to gain well, and to provide a safe and healthy product for the consumer. It's hard for me to explain that the day your dad dies, your wedding day, the day your youngest son is born, those calves need fed. They need fresh water. They need to be taken care of. And ranchers across the United States are working daily, whether it's Sunday or Christmas, to make sure that those calves are cared for.
Well, our goal is to have animals that receive no antibiotics. So we do that with vaccination. So all cattle are vaccinated to prevent sickness. At certain times, just like people, animals do get sick, and then they are administered antibiotics. The industry as a whole has made strict assurances to make sure that those animals do not reach harvest.
I wish people knew that we care for our animals. I wish people knew that we always put their interests first.
I think growing up, I kind of realized that my home life is probably different from a lot of my friends. I think I kind of have this responsibility that a lot of people don't, because it's not just my parents' feedlot, it's like our family's feedlot.
It's fun to include our children in our day-to-day operation. Those kids they've probably worked tens of thousands of cattle, and they're involved in their volleyball and football and basketball and track just as much as anybody else. But their weekends and holidays, summer vacation, Christmas holidays, it seems like they always, oh, we got to go work cattle or something. But it's an enjoyable time.
I'm actually the 7th generation of Losekes that have been here, 6th generation that's been farming. So obviously it means a lot to us, and it goes way back.
Well, I think success can be defined in a variety of ways. It's not always by the size of your bank account. Enjoying what you're doing, getting up in the morning and wanting to go to work, seeing that what you're doing is part of God's creation and keeping it going.
You know, if none of my kids come back to our operation, that's just fine. I'm not going to make them, but if they so desire, there will be an opportunity for them to come back to our operation. And I can say that because I feel what we're doing with the land and the livestock is very sustainable, and I'm thankful that my father and grandfather and great-granddad and generations before me have left the land better for me, and I intend to do the same as well for them.